Hey everyone, welcome back to another iiRcade Gamedaze Friday. I'm your host, Michael, producer here at iiRcade. So today we're talking about a lot of stuff, kind of, and a little stuff. We've had a pretty exciting past week or two, honestly, right? So this past week we released not only a brand new software update, but we released Jetpin, which is our great spinball game, which came out on Friday last week. I see you guys are enjoying it. And also finding how brutal it is, which is amazing. On top of that, we released JukeBox mode on Tuesday, of course, this week. So how could we forget that, right? Got to mention that. I've seen all of you guys posting your things. A couple of people, especially, jamming out. I love seeing it. We're having a good time just watching you guys have a ball with it too. So JukeBox mode beta out now. In case you didn't know, download it. It's free. We gave it to you. It's a gift. There you go. It'll only continue to get better, right? It's still in beta. So let us know some feedback, things like that too. We're reading all the posts. Don't worry. All right. What else did we do on Tuesday? Zhang announced tons more Visco games, right? We had 7 other Visco pixel art games announced too. We had, gosh, I need this whole list here. Androdunas, Asuka Nasuka, Bang Bead, Bang Bang Busters, Stormblade, Neo Drift Out, and UN Defense Force Earth Joker, which is great. So 7 more titles that we're going to get to you guys as soon as possible. But you guys even saw one today, right? Because I let you guys have Bang Bead today. On top of that, you guys also got Neo Drift Out today. I should say there's 2 titles from that list announced on Tuesday. So there you go. On top of that, Dragon Breed, of course, too, is an amazing game. We'll get into that in a little bit here. It's been an exciting 2 weeks for us, kind of. So there's been a lot going on. So today is going to be a lot more of a chill kind of day, too. I know I'm very high energy all the time, too. I'll calm it down a little bit. So we'll get that going here. So without further ado, we can start off. Save your questions. Definitely have some questions. This will mostly be a Q&A day, so we'll kind of just chill and chat today. But let's get into the games for this week first, right? So first game I want to look at is Bang Bead. So let me pull out my handy-dandy things here. There we go. All right, Bang Bead. There we go. Perfect. So it's right here on the machine behind me, actually. Bang Bead. So in case you guys haven't ever played Windjammers, it's kind of similar. It's kind of like a Pong Windjammers kind of game. So yeah, very good with 2 people especially. The AI is pretty difficult, but on top of that, I highly recommend this game if you're playing with friends, with family. It's fantastic. Very competitive as well too. We call it a sports game. I know it's not sort of a sports game, but that's the best category it fits into because it's just a competitive, high energy, back and forth kind of game, right? So there you go. It's got your fantastic track mode going on there. Let me actually bring this up here on screen for everybody. Boom, look at that. All right, so now that we're getting in there. So Bang Bead is, again, a Visco pixel art title that we announced on Tuesday this week, actually, too. Released today. Available now on the store. Let's get into some gameplay here. Actually skip past that a little bit. And I'll actually full screen so you guys don't have to watch the back of my head here. There we go, perfect. Bang Bead. So you've got your choice of characters here, 7 different characters, all very different play styles as well too. I'll actually just go choose that. And Mr. Justice, of course. So Bang Bead, like I said, it's kind of like a lot of like a Pong or Windjammers kind of clone too. So what you're gonna have to do is take out the entire back wall. You can power play these guys too if I can actually get a shot off. So once your stars are all gone, you're going to be trying to score right behind the person. So it's kind of like Pong with some extra steps. On top of that, there's a lot of different power plays, moves. You can slide around. There you go, just like a Windjammers. Actually tons too. So now my wall's gone. Yep, so he scored on me. That's an official good point, and I lost. So that's how you play Bang Bead. So it's kind of nice because you have those extra, with all the stars and everything behind you, you can come from behind, which is great too. It's not just like a one and done winning game. You can keep competing. You can always come back. Even if you're 7 stars down, you can still come back, which is crazy. Alright, I'm going to drag this one on forever for you guys. So that's Bang Bead though. So in case you guys want a really competitive game, especially, this is going to be it for you. So that released today on top of a game that I've been waiting on for so long, Dragon Breed. So Dragon Breed is kind of like Saint Dragon. If you played Saint Dragon, we also have that shooter on the arcade. So basically, you're going to be a rider in this game instead of just the head, and you're going to go around. You can actually kind of hide within your body and things like that too. There's some special ways to play this game. And on top of that here, so literally just shoot and jump, which is great. So let me full screen this. Yeah, there we go. Let me actually switch over. Of course, I can't have my Bang Bee banner up when I have Dragon Breed going. There we go. So like I said, you play as a Dragon Rider. It's fantastic. This is another great IRM game. So here I am, shooting the egg, summoning my dragon. Alright, and we're off. So the tricky thing about this game too is to not let enemies behind you because your body is going to get hit, right? I'm already dying, wow. You gotta protect your head, you gotta protect your body. It's a little bit more difficult than just I said right there, you can see the enemies coming from behind too. So I actually just charged up a special shot right there too with A. If you hold A, you can charge up. Already dying again while I'm charging up my special. Before anybody asks, yes, you do have to keep pressing the button on the fire. Then holding does release a special attack. That's why you gotta actually Well, I'm doing terrible at Saint Dragon today. Let's move on before I embarrass myself anymore with my terrible play in Dragon Breed. So that's Dragon Breed. It's an amazing game by iRem 2. If you played Saint Dragon, you're going to love this game too. If you haven't played Saint Dragon, highly suggest picking that one up as well too. Same kind of gameplay, but Dragon Breed, I like it a little bit better. But to each their own, right? So let's go on. The final game that I released today, right, was Neo Drift Out. So in case you're into racing, into actual rally racing, I should say too. The top-down racers especially too, which feel great with the joystick versus the steering wheel, which I like. Let me switch on over here. So again, simplistic gameplay. This one's actually just a one-player game too, as well as being another fantastic Visco title. This is actually, I believe, the third Drift Out. That makes sense. So there's Drift Out 94. I believe there's just Drift Out before that. And then this is Neo Drift Out is the version that we have here. So this is a little bit more new age than the other ones are. Let me jump on over here. There you go. Get my Mitsubishi. I actually don't think I'm playing with a Mitsubishi, but all right, we'll just do the classic AA. So you can pick your vehicle. Start off with a few different choices. I'll go with the Impreza.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
So if you're a fan of the top-down racing especially, I really like how this game feels. It's very, very drifty. That's why it's got Drift Out, right? So you definitely got to get used to it a little bit. All right, so that was just my tutorial level.
Ready?
Anybody who's really, really good at Snowboard Championship, you're probably going to be pretty darn good at this game. But we'll see that extra drift mechanic makes it very different. So I like to be really light on the joystick in this game. If not, you slide all over the place. There are, if you notice that right there too, there are different paths to take. Oh no. Pretty sure I'm going to time out on this one.
No. Right. Watch out. Left. Ahead.
Wow, I am just great at games today, apparently.
Right.
You can see on the right side too, that's your actual track hold on. There you go. All right, so I'm actually on to the next stage there. But we'll switch back for now. So that's Neo Drift Out, top-down racer from Visco Pixel Heart as well too. I'll actually go back here, change back to my good background. There we go, perfect. All right, so yes, anybody who's looking for racing games, top-down especially too, fantastic title, Neo Drift Out, and available on store today. So let's actually jump into some Q&A here. So get your questions ready while I sort out my overlays. There we go. Perfect. Okay. All right. Who's first up in questions? I have to actually scroll through this list. Wow. Make sure if you are going to ask a question, put a bunch of asterisks in there, question or question marks or something so I can actually like visibly see it. There's a lot going on in the chat. I'm in multiple chat rooms reading through everything right now. So in case you guys didn't know. Let's see. Did John punch me in the eye? That's a great question. Maybe. I'll blink twice if I'm not safe right now. I'm fine. Yeah, no, I actually tripped downstairs. I was tripped by a dog, which is fun, onto concrete steps. You guys are lucky. This is not my face being mangled. It was pretty bad the other day, but thank you for asking. So yes, this is from stairs, which is great. All right. Now I see some more questions here. Mayhem Brawlers, stay tuned on that one. Can't quite tell you the information on that one yet. It did release today, which is fantastic. We're very excited for that game as well, too. Stay tuned. Let's see. What's the JukeBox mode update today? There's no update on JukeBox today. It just released on Tuesday. I got to have time. We got to get time to actually develop and fix these things and make these changes, right? So there are more changes coming. QA's already got a few different bugs that were put in the other day. So we're testing it in-house as well, too. We're not just relying on all of you as well. So JukeBox has some fixes. We changed the ship model already, too, if you didn't update. That was caught actually before release because there's some companies might not appreciate the model that was in that game. But on top of that, things like connectivity issues are going to get better, of course, too. And just quality of life things going on with it. Would like to get a few different features going in there, specifically like song title maybe. So finding Bluetooth profile information is interesting. It's a different beast entirely. So we're getting there. It is beta for sure. I very much like to clarify, this is beta. It will get improved for sure. All right. Oh my gosh. There's a lot of questions now. Okay. I don't even know what this means. What do you think of what is this week? I don't know. I have no idea what is this week. Possible online play, Travis. Possible online play in the near future for Neo Rally. Neo Drift Out. Maybe. I'm not going to say no. I just don't want to say no to anybody anytime. You know, I like giving you guys features. So I don't want to say no to online yet. However, there's no online currently. How about that? There's no online currently in Neo Drift Out. If online's available, we'll let you know when. Tian, elevator action in Raston. Good question. Since the announcement, so whole slew of title games, right? Elevator action, Raston series, the entire thing, which 3 I don't think is found on any other arcade machine nowadays unless you buy the Raston 3 machine in Japan. But yeah. So, and then what? Space Invaders, right? So soon, that one's kind of held up by getting approvals, essentially, is how that works. So these games are very officially licensed, right? So we have to deal directly with the publishers and the licensors and all that. It just takes some time. The games themselves, even if they might be ready, they still have to go through vetted processes and things like that too. They have to get approvals by certain teams until we can actually release them too. So stay tuned. as soon as possible, though. We're not trying to hold it back for sure. I would love to get these games to you as soon as possible. So, and soon, within the coming weeks, though, it's not going to be like months and months and months. I would say a lot of these titles they'll probably be within the next few weeks. So they'll you won't have to wait too long. Let me see here. More shooters with auto fire. Shoe shine. Okay, yeah. No, I got you. I feel you are on the arthritis. I am an ex acrobat and gymnast, so all of my joints are broken and decrepit nowadays. So I feel you on that. Even though I do appreciate spamming buttons is great. There's a pretty good amount right now. Actually, you got to sort through them. I have to actually. I might be able to come up with a list for you by next Friday, actually, to tell you exactly what shooters are on the system right now that have rapid fire, essentially, too, where you can hold down the button and not need to. There's quite a few. I can't name them all offhand. I can tell you Rangok for sure because Rangok has a turbo button in it, so that'll work. But on top of that, for the classic arcade shooters, I'll have to take a look for you. It's not something that we really keep track of in house. We just kind of know for the most part. So, but I'm keeping track of hundreds and hundreds of games in my head right now too. So it's a little bit hard to pull them out of my head. But yeah, I can look into that and let you know what shooters have turbo basically. Sure. All right, let's see here. Crossfaders and Scratch on jukebox mode. I would love to help you out with that, Prince. Maybe. Stay tuned. Anything's possible, right? Let's see here. Going down the list. More screensavers. I know you guys want more stuff for Jukebox. Again, this is beta. This is our first preliminary beta trial for this, right? So this was barely public ready at this point. You got base functionality working with Bluetooth connectivity. And the visualizer is still getting worked on and things like that too to sync up better. So that's all being worked on. More features to come. Don't you worry about Jukebox. But do keep posting different things about Jukebox all the time too. We're always looking for feedback. We are listening. We're watching. I promise you this. Let me see here. Biomechanical Toy. Great question too, because I love that game. It's being worked on still. So Biomechanical Toy actually has kind of an enemy spawning problem, if that makes sense too, that's being worked on. There's just some issues with the game as far as performance because it literally likes to pop out about 100 enemies at once, which is not great by today's standards even. So we're working on it. It's still coming. Don't worry. It's not going anywhere. We'll release that as soon as possible. A list would be amazing. Yeah, I'll get you your list, you shine. Don't worry. I got you. Let me see here. What else? We'll take a couple more questions, and then I'll go on and jump into the next topic. Let me see here. There's a lot of questions. I'm glad. Okay, keep them coming. I talked about this already, Steve, actually, in case you missed it. Yeah, that was actually a bug originally. That was a placeholder that was never intended to be in the official release. It's actually out of release now. So if you updated, yes, it's gone. You should be continuing to update, by the way, with Jukebox especially. If you see an update, you should definitely take it because a lot of them are sort of important fixes for beta trials, essentially. Let me see here. Trucks and other Psycho games. Yes, Psycho games they're coming. We're working on them for sure. There's a lot of games to sort through. We're getting there. So we do have a small team. Unfortunately, we're not like a giant corporate company, right? So we're big, but we're very, very small. Still sort of getting out of startup, right? So stay tuned on those. They're still coming. They're in the works. I promise you. The list that we've announced, any games that we've announced so far, they're coming out. It's just a matter of time. Truxton, I know, is a fantastic game. That's actually one of my favorite shooters as well, too. Golf, maybe. I would love to have a golf game as well. Let's see. This is a long question that I don't even know that I can read through. Okay, I'm going to skip that one, actually. Golf is a must. Okay, we hear you. Golf for sure. You guys like golf a lot. You like hockey a lot. So we know that. And some of you like darts a lot too. Gladiator for Taito. Wink once for yes. All right. Not going to wink right now. But also, you'll know when I wink too. I do have a very prominent wink. More Sega titles. Zookeeper. Yeah, of course. All right. We're going to move on. All right. Save the rest of your questions for a little bit later. Not too long. Okay, here, wait. I'll take one more question because I see it here. All right, Brian. Ring X guys, how do you tell which fire is enemy? I feel like I should be dying, but it doesn't affect me much. So Ring X guys is an interesting shooter, right? So you don't just have, you're not just one and done as far as hits go. You have a health bar, you have a shield, things like that. So it adds a lot to the gameplay as far as the hits that you want to take versus the hits that you should take versus the hits that you should definitely dodge. So those are things that you kind of have to figure out. That's part of the game for sure. That's part of the difficulty of the game too. If you want to get on those Terminators leaderboards, which somebody already is, I saw. Congratulations for our first Terminator. Yeah, those are the things that you really got to pay attention to in the game and do your research basically. That's how you get better. It's just like if you went to an arcade back in the day, you had to play the game over and over and over again to get better at it too, to find all the features, to find all the special little details that they hid in there. Ring exercise is the exact same. All right. Moving on. Let's move on for now. Okay. Save your questions for later. We'll have more Q&A. I promise you that. Again, this is going to be a very chill and chat Friday. With everything that's been going on the past 2 weeks, with software updates, with Jetpin coming out, with JukeBox coming out, with Visco, Pixel Heart, more Taito titles. Relaxing day today. All right. So next thing I want to move on to actually is games you might have missed, which is my favorite topic actually to bring up from the store. So my first title actually is one of my favorites, Xenon Valkyrie Plus. So Xenon Valkyrie Plus is actually a roguelite platformer. Sorry about that. Let me get the video for everybody here. Perfect. Had to stream. So this is Xenon Valkyrie Plus, in case you missed it. This came out a few months ago, actually now, a few months back. So it's a roguelite. You can play as 3 different characters who have very different abilities as well too. Basically, you can bomb the heck out of the course, create your own paths, keep dropping down. You start off in the Technoforce, which is great too. It's a really good, cute pixel art style. The game's got a great soundtrack, really good gameplay, and it's a lot of hours of playability too. So if you're looking for a roguelike, this is probably one that you might have missed because it got buried in everything else that's going on, all the excitement all the time, right? So you're looking for this, look under the platformers. This is a roguelike platformer. So look in platformers for Xenon Valkyrie Plus. Great title that you might have missed. Move on here to Heavy Smash, which is again a very competitive game. Boom, Heavy Smash. Here we go. Let me actually go back to the comments here. So you guys are talking about it. Cool, awesome. So Heavy Smash is a very competitive game as well too. We put it in the sports category for a good reason. Heavy Smash is basically like a weird form of rugby, I would say. As close as you can get to it in an arcade machine, at least. So you can actually jump forward in the video for gameplay here. So there we go. I missed the goal already. I'm sorry about that. But don't worry, Japan's beating Brazil. That's all you need to know right now. So Heavy Smash, in case you guys missed it, this came out. This is probably one of our first releases actually back in, I think, January or February that we released this. So probably missed it. Heavy Smash is a great, great game. Again, it's sort of like either like a handball or a rugby kind of game too. Every team has very different stats in this game as well too. So the team that you pick too. So in case you want to take advantage and win, I'm not going to say to bet or anything like that, but in case you want to take advantage of your friends a little bit and win, there's the right teams that you'll pick up what teams beat other teams and what have better stats versus other teams. Every team is very balanced. It's just certain teams just really do better against each other too. Some are faster than others. Some have more throw strength. Some can tackle better. So, and they're very, very different. So this game is a quick-paced action sports game. Again, if you like kind of like rugby or handball, this is the choice for you, for sure. All right. Last but not least, on games you might have missed, QA's favorite game, Alec, if you're watching, I do apologize for probably the PTSD. Bogey Manor. So this is kind of a more classic title for sure. So Bogey Manor has, I believe, 41 different stages you have to get through. You play as Fritz, and you can actually turn into Super Fritz whenever you pick up the Super Suit. There's different articles of clothing that you pick up, which help you play throughout the game, basically. But for the most part, you're going around breaking crystal balls and using ghosts mostly. So what you do in this game, you actually have to point. You can point up, or you can point down, and it basically distracts the ghosts because ghosts are very easily distracted. In case nobody knew that. So it's a very spooky game. There's ghosts. There's some other creatures in there for you too, but for the most part, you're going around breaking all the crystal balls. As you can see, you can only see one level at a time unless you find the light switches. You just did right there. And your goal is essentially to smash every crystal ball to rid the entire floor of spirits. And then after that, you'll move on to the next stage. So it's 41 stages, and it's hard. And the last stage too, you have to actually do everything before the timer ends, which is a lot of things going on there too. So get ready. If you're playing this game, it's a competitive game for sure. So this is the last game that you guys might have missed. We'll post this all over social media feeds, things like that too, just in case you're looking for it. This is under the arcade section as well, too, in the game store. So I'll remove that, go back to just me. I'll switch back. You guys will look at my ugly broken mug right now. Yo. Perfect. So those are our games you might have missed. So again, Xenon Valkyrie Plus, fantastic roguelike. Heavy Smash, fantastic competitive sports game, rugby handball-esque. I love that game, actually. That's one of my favorite games on the system, honestly. If you haven't checked it out, I really strongly advise it. I've been playing that for so long. That's probably one of my most played games at home. And then Bogey Manor, which is our QA's favorite PTSD game. So that game is very rough, and it's just a classic spooky house kind of game. And again, distract all the ghosts by pointing. It's fantastic. I love it. All right, so that's the games you might have missed. Again, we'll post those everywhere for you guys. Bring on more questions. Let's go ahead and keep doing Q&A today. Let's do it. So any questions, don't hold back. Let me know. Questions about the games that came out today, games that are coming out, games that we've already previously released, the store, iiRcade itself, JukeBox mode, whatever you guys want to ask. Spooky house for spooky season coming, that's right. All right. Questions. Going down this list. Wow, okay. JWY, didn't we just give you what you kept asking for, which is Rasta? Now you're going to ask me for more games? Oh my goodness. Sunset Riders, I'm looking into it. Don't you worry. I'm a big Sunset Riders fan too. Chance of a hockey game. We just talked about this a little bit actually too. Stay tuned on hockey. We would love to get you all a hockey game because I know you ask for it night and day because we see it nonstop. And for good reason. Hockey games are super fun, so I agree with you. It's just a matter of talking to the right person, right time kind of thing. The right deal comes along. We're trying. Don't you worry about that too. Do we have some cooking in the works? I can't say. But stay tuned on that. We also love us some hockey. More Sega titles. We would like to get more, of course. We'll see. Stay tuned on that one too. What is the difference between the basketball games on iiRcade? So I assume that you're talking about Street Hoops and Hoops 96. So, I mean, mostly they're different games, but they are pretty good. They're both good basketball games. So if you're liking basketball, honestly, either one is a great pick. It's really just personal preference. The teams are slightly different. The characters are slightly different. There's not too much of a difference in the gameplay. I feel like Street Hoop is slightly slower, whereas Hoops 96 is a little faster paced to me. I could be going crazy on that one. But yeah, honestly, both are good to pick up. Like if you like basketball games, both are good choices. It's mostly the teams, the countries, the characters that you get to. But they are very similar in gameplay. They're both very good basketball games, though. Let me see here. Already talked about Man Brawlers. Oh my gosh, there's a lot here. Steve always asking me about Cuphead. We're trying. Don't you worry about that. That would be a fantastic title. You're right. Oh my gosh, this is a lot here. This guy, Jeff, I swear. I'm not winking ever. I know that you all now think that I have secret winks or gestures and things. I don't think that I am. I might have nervous twitches because I'm not used to streaming. So that's probably why. This is still only episode 5. I'm calming down. I'm learning a little bit. I need to slow down. I know. Don't you worry. But yes, I do not have secret tells. If I have something to announce, I'll let you know. Somebody said, let me see, Prince. Would it be hard? Would it be hard or easy to incorporate a microphone with our auxiliary slash headphone jack? Zhang might want to show you more of this himself, but there is actually a way we're playing around with to do karaoke. So stay tuned on that one as well too. You don't necessarily need an auxiliary jack, even though we have an aux jack right there, of course, on the machine too to use. That's an output though. That's not an input, mind you. So there is a big difference there. So yeah, that would take some. If we wanted to add a jack like that too, that would take some finagling on the board. We'd have to add some different features. That's a hardware thing. Uh, I don't think we necessarily need that when we have all these wild Bluetooth and Wi-Fi capabilities. So I'll leave that one to Zhang to maybe show you a little bit more there, Prince. So, but yeah, there's some fun things that you guys can do with JukeBox that you may not have explored yet that we have explored. So this is a feature that we've been working on for quite some time. So we've came up with some fun different ways to exploit it a little bit, which is great. So in case you're just looking for JukeBox for music, that's fantastic. Can you do more with it? You definitely can. And I can show you different ways, but I'll let Zhang do that. Maybe on Tuesday, I'll get him to tell you more about that. All right, going down the list here. Ira Karaoke. I know, you guys are all big karaoke fans, which is interesting. The arcade crowd is a huge karaoke crowd. I've noticed that. Let me see. Going down this list here. Always get asked this question: how hard is it to get licenses? It's really honestly not too hard as long as you talk to the right person. The problem is finding the right person to talk to, right? So the issue with a lot of licenses, especially older licenses, is it's hard to track down who actually has the rights to license that game. You might think that it's one company when it turns out to be a totally different person in general. It might not even be a company. So that's always what we're finding. It's kind of interesting. The land of licensing is never ceases to amaze me. So, but yes, you know, there's a lot of things that go into licensing, basically. I'll leave it at that. How hard is it to get those bigger licenses? Difficult. It's extremely difficult. We're not even a year in yet. So it's very difficult. We're a young company, but we're doing pretty well, you know? And don't you worry. There's more bigger and bigger titles that are going to keep rolling in. We promise you that. Oh my gosh. My chat jumped down. Why did it do that? Let me see. What other questions? Keep loading me up with questions. I want to see this chat just littered with different questions too. Not just about game titles that might be coming too, but other actual questions would be great to see. If you have questions about the games that you've been playing too, I can answer those. I've played all these games myself. The QA team here has tested them ridiculous amounts of time. So any questions you have, I can figure them out if I don't already know them, but I likely know the answer already. Let me see here. See, again, always with questions like this too. More games are coming, I promise you. Specific titles, I can't really tell you right now. I can pretty much tell you that. So again, I'm a producer. I'm more tight-lipped than Zhang is. I let him do the fun announcements like that too and stick to my own kind of zone too. Jetpin I announced last week because it was a more modern title that I worked so closely with the developer with, basically. So that's why I chose to announce that instead of letting him do that. Oh no, hide comments here. Let me see here. Actually, above that, that's where I was going to. Have I played MFL yet? Yes, I have, of course. I play every single game before we pretty much license it, even, quite honestly. A lot of times, sometimes we sign things before I play them. Sometimes we sign things after I play them. It all depends. But yes, I have played an MFL on our cabinets. Yes, the answer is yes to that. Who's my favorite coworker? I don't have a favorite coworker. I love all of my coworkers equally. We're all a big happy family. Definitely, definitely, if Triangle Watermelon was a coworker, though, I would not like Triangle Watermelon. Question. See, again, specific game titles. I cannot tell you on specific game titles right now. Just letting you know right now. There are no specific game titles that we don't have that I can tell you about right now. Oh my goodness, there's a lot. Any chance of Tapper? I don't know. Again, I don't know. All right, going down the list even more. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's hard to read. It's hard to read and talk at the same time for me. Apparently, yeah, I'm not a good multitasker when I read, so which is interesting. It's good for me to know. All right. Any other non-game related questions either, or games that are on the system would be fantastic. If you have questions about the games on the system right now, those ones I can get to. Merch coming, maybe. Brian, we would love to be able to sell you merch because why would I not want to make more money, right? No, but no, seriously. Merch, maybe. These are things that we're looking into, of course, along with like accessories and things like that for the kid. Of course, we want to look into merch too, so that you guys can get shirts and hats and I don't know, pants, shorts, stickers. I don't even know yet. There's a lot. There's a lot for sure. Stay tuned on that though. Maybe by end of year, maybe say who knows. But that is something that, of course, we've thought about. Are we planning to do it? I can't make any promises on that, but definitely something that we think about kind of often, honestly. The neon arcade sign behind me. No, but if you want to go print your own, I'm not against it. I can. If you have a giant neon iiRcade sign made, I can give you permission to use it at home. I would say that. So we were approved for home arcade usage and home neon sign usage. If you want to know the price, it just depends on where you go. Is this one real behind me? It's actually not currently, but it is real in the other room. Yes, that is fair. Okay, let's see here. Other questions. Keep the questions coming. We'll just keep this going on Q&A today. I don't have a lot of big things for you. We're going to take it easy today. We've had a lot going on these past 2 weeks. It's going to be a chill, calm day. You got 3 new games today, plus 3 more that I just said you might have missed too. So plenty of games to check out, plenty of other things. Have fun with your jukebox mode. Put some lo-fi beats on in the background while we talk. Let's just have a good day. Just a good, calm, relaxing Friday. It's a great day. What would you like? Let me see, Pete. What would I like to see next iteration of iiRcade, like iiRcade version 2? There's a lot, actually. These are things that we toy around with all the time, too, of course. We're never going to stop iterating this product. That's how it goes. Of course, light-up marquees are something that I would love to see, right? Light-up marquees are like our number one ask, I would say. On top of that, I don't know, maybe better processors. I don't know. There's not a lot, actually. There's not a lot of improvements, honestly, that I would need on this machine, which is great. Style-wise, maybe I have a little bit of a different taste in style, I would say. So maybe redesign a little bit as far as the body. But overall, there's not a lot of changes that I would make. But of course, we're always changing. We're always iterating. So stay tuned on more changes to come. I promise you there's changes coming. Let me see here. This is an interesting question, Brian. Has there been a title you tested that you felt was not a good fit for the system? Not really, honestly, which is interesting because a game like Dead Effect 2, say, you would think just doesn't work because it's a first-person shooter, and we did it twin stick. It was such an experiment, but my gosh, does it actually work after you play it for like 10, 20 minutes? It feels so natural, actually, which is interesting. So that probably would have been like the one and only. And then I was proven wrong on that, right? I thought in my head, I was like, this is never going to work. And then it did. So yeah, that's it. I would say like maybe some of the racers we're getting with, like you guys mentioned that a lot too. I would say it's that some of the racing games feel a little odd, and they do without a steering wheel. I'll give you that with joystick. We do the best that we can with the control set that we have too. So racing games are a little different, but those are probably the only ones that I would say come up a lot that are just kind of like, this feels Okay. I wish it felt a little better, but that's about it, really. Honestly, every title plays really well in the system. You get used to it. It's funny. It's funny how many things you get used to, actually, too, which is fun, which is interesting. Brian, another question here. No, that was the one that I just did. Okay, great. I just didn't scroll down and my thing jumped. Oh my goodness. Now you all have questions. Thank you, Digital Dreams. All right, the eye. We did talk about the eye already too. You might have tuned in a little later. So Jean punched me in the face. That's it. This is a hostile work environment here at iiRcade. Please help. No, I was tripped down some concrete stairs when I was going to the lake on Sunday, actually too. But yeah, I was tripped down the stairs by a random person's husky, which is interesting, and I broke the fall with my face. So luckily, it's actually cleaned up a lot. All you see is this shiner over here now, but my face was looking pretty mangled. So I was 100% looking like a mutant from Mutant Football League the other day, which is interesting. All right. Increased volume for JukeBox. So, Doug, interesting question. So, what I think is probably happening on your end is that you have to actually up the Bluetooth volume on the device that you're using too. So, say I hook my phone up to JukeBox, right? My phone will actually switch to, at the moment that it connects to Bluetooth, my phone's going to switch to Bluetooth audio, which is a different audio than the rest of my phone, say my ringtone or my normal audio that's coming out of my phone too. Bluetooth is specified on nearly all devices nowadays too. And this is typical too. So if I were to hook it up to my car, say, if I hook up to the Bluetooth in my car too, I have to turn my phone up to like 100% basically so that I can adjust it normally within my car and use that volume changer instead of the volume on my phone, right? So what's likely happening there, I would say, is you probably just didn't turn up the volume to 100% on the device that you're connected to, because these things, trust me, you crank it up to 100 on your phone and then you crank this up to 100, you wake up the entire neighborhood. We've done it so many times for testing, so that happens. So that's my best guess at what's going on there. If not, there might be a different issue. Not 100%. I doubt it, though. I would say highly doubt it. It's probably just, user error a little bit, too, which happens to us all the time, too. Trust me, I had to get used to it so many times, too, when I was first getting acquainted to JukeBox, basically. But yes, that's how that works. So in case anybody didn't know, whenever you hook up something to Bluetooth, the audio on that device switches to a Bluetooth audio mode specifically. So usually with anything else, a Bluetooth speaker, your car, iiRcade, a computer, anything, you have to crank up the Bluetooth volume on that device too, and then you can adjust it on the device that you're actually using. So that's a very common thing with Bluetooth. It's sort of not intuitive, sort of intuitive. It kind of gives you more options though, which is nice too. You get more volume levels, in my opinion. But yes, I can see the confusion there. I've done that so many times myself. So that would be my take on jukebox volume. Okay, we jumped down again. Why does my list keep doing this? All right, going down the list. What other questions we got? More Q&A. Pump up the volume, of course. Thank you, Pete. Pete-ups. We already went over this too. Yes, my rapid eye movement is not. It's confirmed to not be my anything. It's just a nervous twitch, probably, is what you're seeing. I'm just an anxious person, I guess. I don't know. This is only my 5th live stream. I'm getting used to it. I'm calming down. Like I said, we're chilling. You'll know when I wink. So that's how I do it. Remember, I was a performer. I was an acrobat, right? I know when I wink. I know how to wink at people. Very expressive with my face, especially my eyebrows at times too. Not quite a Daenerys kind of eyebrows expression, but getting there. Plans for accessories? Nothing we can talk about right now, unfortunately. But like I said, anything's possible, as Jean will always tell you to. And stay tuned on accessories as far as things that can connect to the kit. What I can tell you, though, is with the feature of JukeBox, there is a lot of doors that open up with possibility with what you can do with Bluetooth. So in case you want to watch movies and things, we've already done that with projectors. Also HDMI out. Remember, you can make this a projector kit by just having an HDMI projector. Let me see here. More questions. Let me see here. All right, see Derek. Question: Kung Fu Master's sound is spot on if it's the first game I play. If I leave, play something else and return, the sound lags. have to restart the cab for the sound to go back up. Solutions. Interesting. Okay. Not something that I'm aware of because we've played it plenty of times too, and we've never really seen it too. But every machine is different sometimes, right? With software, you never really know what you're going to get sometimes. So we can test and test and test all we want, but when you have thousands and tens of thousands of machines out there, there's always going to be some variance and stuff too. So this is good to know. So thank you, Derek. I will look into this actually for you. When we might get a fix for that, I couldn't really tell you, but we can look into that definitely. So thank you for letting me know. Again, these are things that little issues like that too. It's a big issue if I'm going to play the game constantly too. Didn't mean to say it's a small matter, but these are things that they just differ on every machine. And it's hard to really catch all of them. We're a small team, but like we're big enough to usually catch most stuff. That's just a very niche case scenario, basically. But yeah, no, I'd love to look into that because who knows? Maybe it affects another game down the line, right? So we want to get those fixes in. No more coffee for you. I actually didn't have any coffee today. I'm just a very energetic person, I would say, too. I didn't wink, but maybe I did. I don't know. All right, going down the list. Question for me, actually. Chill day, right? Thank you, Christopher, for asking. What led me to iiRcade? A whole long string of things, basically, too, right? I'm coming from a big background of a lot of different things from performing as an acrobat to using my degree in game design, making my own games, having my own game studio, working in AAA, and then ending up here at iiRcade, right? It's been a long journey. So what led me here is basically they had a posting when I was looking for a job pretty much too. That's what drew me here. But on top of that, I'm a big gamer too, and I'm a big arcade fan as well too. I look a lot younger than I am. People think I'm always, yeah. Anyway, that's a whole nother story, right? But I do love arcade gaming. I grew up right in that fantastic time where consoles were just getting big, right? With NES and Sega Genesis, especially right then too for me. Past the days of Atari and stuff, but still interested in Atari and things like that as well too. And I still grew up with actual arcades, right? So I grew up playing a lot of Frogger in my arcade, which is weird. I don't know why I was so addicted to Frogger. Weird things. But yeah, so a lot of these older arcade games too are sort of brand new to me that we get on machines sometimes too, especially games from like the 70s and stuff. And Coleco titles are brand new to me, so which is great. I love having the experience of new age games as well as old games, and I'm talking like really old games too that a lot of you guys even too were almost too young to find, which is great. But that's pretty much it. I like the variety here at iiRcade. That's why I like. That's why I love being here. The team's great. Love everybody. Everybody works really hard. It's great being part of like a startup, especially about a year ago too. So I'm coming up there. But it's great to just see the process and see the build and just keep it growing and just seeing what happens. It's exciting. Every day is a new and exciting adventure basically too. And I get to work with tons and tons of developers, which as a developer myself, I love doing. So anytime that I can help out another dev get their game onto a new platform or just rework it in a different way, that's my favorite part of the job. So cool. Thanks for asking. And I skipped down again. Travis, do I have a favorite genre of games? For arcade, it's different than my actual favorite genre. My actual favorite genre of games, I would say, is 100% RPGs. I'm a big RPG fan. I'm a big story lover. It doesn't have to be like a big cutscene game or anything like that too, but just a really, really good story I like. That's why I like games as a medium for storytelling. I think games can be a better medium for storytelling than film can even, which is great because it's an interactive experience. That's why I love RPGs a lot. I mean, I play everything. I'm also a big, on top of RPGs, like I'm a big FPS fan too. I'm excited for like when Halo comes out this year. That's like one of my favorite franchises. So I'm super stoked on that. As far as arcade game goes, again, it varies a lot too. I can tell you, I do like my classical RPG elements too. So a game like Gauntlet's good for me. But on top of that, like we have, oh my gosh, Dark Seal and Dark Seal 2. So that's, I forget the Americanized names, but one is, I forget what one is, but then it's Wizard's Fire is the second game. But Dark Seal 1 and Dark Seal 2 are currently available on iiRcade, and those are two of my favorite games on the system for sure. Because it's kind of like the original Diablo to me, right? It's the classic isometric top-down I should say isometric and top down. It's isometric view is what that is, in case you were wondering, with the diamond shape, essentially, that's called an isometric view in game design. So those are my favorite. Those are definitely some of my favorites. But I do like a good hack and slash or just a good shoot 'em up too. So like, big Doom fan, big Alien Storm fan on our kit too. But on top of that, everything strikes my fancy as far as games go. So thank you for asking, Travis. All right, what else we got here? Oh my gosh, so many questions. Devon, I always get this wrong. I feel like I'm so sorry. If it's Devon, I'm so sorry. I want to keep saying Devon. But yeah, will we ever have a need for external QA testers? Stay tuned. We don't have a plan for it. I wouldn't say. The problem with external QA a lot of times is that we get a lot of feedback that we already know, unfortunately, which is kind of the same with any game that you're going to do. But who knows? It depends all on the broadness of the audience that we need for a game, right? So if there's a game that has like 100 different scenarios, that's completely unrealistic for us to cover because we just don't have, there's only so many hours in the day, and it would take us like 300 plus hours to test this entire game. And even then, you're going to lose stuff, right, between everybody. That's usually when you'll do an external QA test in any sort of field, quite honestly, for games. So yeah, so maybe, who knows? I'll let you know, though. Don't you worry. You'll be first on my list. What school did I go to for game development? That's a good question, too. Actually, I went to the Art Institute of California. So I had fantastic teachers out there, professors who are still working in the industry, which is great, too. So Alan Emmerich's like my favorite person ever, in case he's ever watching. Favorite teacher, just because he taught me a lot of the business side for production, especially too, which is something you don't actually get taught in a lot of programs, which is unfortunate because you should understand the realistic values of what's going to go on in the game industry. On top of that, I had professors from bigger companies because it was right there underneath Hollywood and Irvine stuff. So you've got big companies like Blizzard, Obsidian, plenty more too. Blind Squirrel, they're all out there. Naughty Dog, PlayStation, Sony Interactive, or Sony Santa Monica. So it's a great place to be because all of my teachers came from still working in the industries at the time, so you get taught a lot, which is great too. So if anybody's interested in going to school for game design, just pick the right school. Pick whatever's good for you, and you're going to need to work so much outside of classes too. Games are a field where you literally just have to understand that you're just going to be night and day going in on your own, trying to figure out for yourself what works for you and what works for the project that you're working on. It's a lot of self-taught. It's a lot of non-self-taught. It's a lot of just discipline. But that's why you got to love games. If you want to work in games, you got to love it because it's 24/7, 365. I promise you that. Let's see here. What else we got going down the list? That was an interesting question, too. Thank you for that one. Different question. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Lots and lots. We've got time for let's go with 5 more questions, I would say, and then we'll call it a day. So chill and chat. We didn't play any JukeBox music, unfortunately, but I hope you guys have like some lo-fi or something going on at home right now if you're watching from home. If you're in the office, I don't know. I still hope you have your arcade machine in your office with you because why not bring the iiRcade to work, right? Just pop the bar top off, put it on the desk, Okay, let's see here. Coleco games are a must. We can do Coleco games. Thank you, Brad, for doing a review of Darkseid 2. I hope you enjoy that game as much as I do because it honestly is one of my favorite franchises that I never knew about until we had it on iiRcade, which is so surprising. All right. Favorite cab art? Sean, all right. Do I have a favorite cab art out of the ones that we have right now? Yes. You're not going to like it, though. So my favorite cab art is actually the Naked Black edition because I am such a simple person. I like modern, sleek style, and just having the black edition as is, I like it on its own. So that's actually my favorite cab, quite honestly. If I have to pick with artwork, it's either going to be MFL or it's going to be probably Dragon's Lair. So again, I'm a big RPG nerd. I like my dragons and knights and things like that, so I'm going to go with the Dragon's Lair. They're all good, though. It just depends on your taste, your style. I like the black edition because I like the clean black machine. And on top of that, too, you can take this thing apart, paint it, seal it up, make it look really nice. You can make it look your own, right? That's why I like the customizability of the black edition. So that's my favorite. Good question. Let's see here, Mike. Go, Mike. Let's go. That's a fantastic name. Just saying. Will iiRcade update the games that have online leaderboards in the store? Currently, they say no. What do you mean by that question, actually? I kind of need more iteration on that. Arcade updated games that have online leaderboards in the store. Not quite sure. If you mean like the store itself will it get updated? Yes, the answer is yes, absolutely. Struggling on that question a little bit. Uh, Christopher, good question. Christopher, Chris, whichever you go by. Speaking of cab art, will there be separate cab art decals ever to be considered for sale? Don't know. This is something that we've thought about for sure. We've kicked around since we do have the black edition. We thought about selling an accessory play essentially, right? So selling different cab art. The thing is that with cab art, if we want it to be licensed, we have to get it licensed, right? We have to talk to these companies and they have to allow us to use their artwork and they have to allow us to manipulate their artwork as well too to fit the style of the machine, to fit properly. Sometimes that goes well, sometimes it doesn't go too well. We all have very different tastes, especially for arcades, for arcade cabinets. You can see this in like if you go to an arcade, right? There's just so many different styles of cabs, and everybody has their own preference. So it's hard to make one size fits all. So we try as best as we can, but at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to is personal preference. Will we sell decals on the side? Maybe. Currently, we don't, but maybe. Definitely stay tuned on that one too. That's a fantastic question. Keep them coming. We got three more questions. Is the big game date? Maybe. Maybe I might dump some game days. So, some games on you during a game days, like Zhang does when he announces them. Remember that I am the one who actually pushes the button to detonate the games live on the stream, basically, too. That's part of my job. Which editions are in stock and ready to ship? I have to take a look myself. Retro 6502. I don't want to lie to you on this one, so I do want to look first. I don't want to give you misinformation, I should say. Not that I would lie to you, but I don't want to give you misinformation. I believe that Dragon's Lair is already, Retro Minions are ready, original for sure is ready, potentially some black editions. Space Ace should be coming to you guys who ordered it as well too, if you haven't gotten it yet. Beyond that, I'm not 100%. Beach Buggy should definitely be available as well too. And MFL still is on pre-order, as Zhang said, on Tuesday. It got a little bit delayed, so stay tuned on that one. We'll keep you guys informed as much as possible. Don't want to keep you flying in the dark on that one. I just don't have the right information to give you currently. But yes, if you ordered within the past month or two, it should be getting there pretty soon, unless it's an MFL. I can tell you that much. It's not quite my area. I sort of deal in all areas of the company, but at the same time, I don't go through what's in the warehouse every single day. So just don't want to misinform you on that one. What else we have? This is an interesting question, Jeff. Is there anything that anyone else in the office does that is a pet peeve for you or that bugs you? Not really. I'm probably the one who everybody else has pet peeves about me, I would say, because I probably bug them during their work all the time too, just because I'm going in and out of every room all day long. So, yep, so that's pretty much the answer to that. I'm probably the one who, like, I am the pet peeve, I guess, if that makes sense. It's not that other people bug me, it's that I bug them. It's part of my job, though. I'm supposed to bug everybody. Gotta know what's going on. All right, we got time for about 2 more questions here. We'll wind it down here. I really hope people are listening to like some really chill lo-fi beats and stuff using their iiRcade in JukeBox mode right now. If you're doing that, let me know. I'm just interested. All right, let's see. That's the safe answer. You're right. Thank you, company that I work for. Let me see here. Going down the list. All right, keep the questions coming. If you got any last questions, let me know right now. If not, I will let you guys go. Baldur's Gate 3. Oh man, I wish that we could get Baldur's Gate 3. I don't know if that's a possibility. I don't know. Does Wizards of the Coast still own Baldur's Gate? I assume they do, along with everything in the D&D franchise. Of course, it's the best. It's actually the best program music. Thank you, Endless One Up. Yes, I'm listening and I love it. Thank you. That's what I wanted to see. Cheating. Closest show beats come back. Mike, great. It's Chicago, so I guess people are Midwest here and they say pop, but that's incorrect. It's soda. So I come from the East Coast where they say soda. They also say yins where I'm from. But fire at the grill, barbecue some chicken. I think Travis is absolutely right. I'll let you guys go on this Friday. If we got no more good questions coming in here, that's about it. Prince, JukeBox, right? Absolutely fine. I can see that right now. I can hear that. Got your glass? Yes, actually, update on the glass too. So anybody who has ordered recently, glass is back on pre-order. Stay tuned on when the next shipment's actually going to come in. You guys took our stock away almost instantly that it got here. The moment that it got here, it was sold out, which is crazy because we had 3 different shipments. So I'm glad that you guys are liking the glass. But yeah, so glass is back on pre-order, just as an FYI, in case you didn't already know. All right, I need a last question. I can't go out. I got to go out with some sort of question here. Let me see. Oh my gosh. Okay, now there's Wizards of War. Yes, of course, Wizards of War. Dreamcast titles would be amazing. All right. That seems about it, actually. Let's end it with that. Mayhem Brawlers on iiRcade. Okay, here, I'll end on this one too. Yeah, it's not done yet. So Mayhem Brawlers did release today, which is fantastic. We're super stoked about it. It's coming soon. Stay tuned on that one. We will let you know as soon as we have more information for you. So, but don't worry. Yes, it is coming. It's planned release still. There's nothing going wrong with that. Okay. Sean, I guess if you didn't, oh, nope, that's the wrong one. Sorry, Michael. There we go. In case you didn't know, that's not our thing here at iiRcade. Can you put the old computer games pirates on iiRcade? Oh, wait, actually, sorry. I misinterpreted this question. I read this wrong entirely. You're looking for the old game pirates, yeah. Maybe. I don't really know. Depends who owns the rights to it, right? Depends if we can license it. Or Mr. Yes, the answer is yes. Do I play D&D still? Sometimes. All right. The only question, again, that I can never answer for you all on stream, what games are coming that I haven't told you about? I can't tell you about the games that I haven't told you about until I can tell you about them. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Detonator, no detonator? All right. That's pretty much it. All right. So I will let you guys go, actually. This was just a chill and chat Q&A day, unfortunately, or fortunately. I don't know. We've had a very, very impactful past 2 weeks, basically, too, between software update coming out, enabling JukeBox mode this week, mysteriously releasing a pinball game to you guys out of nowhere. Yeah, there's been a lot going on. On top of that, all the different title announcements, Holo Visco pixel art announcements too, on top of other announcements. More coming soon, more info. Stay tuned. Tune in on Tuesday. Jean will announce some more things for you. I guarantee it. And tune in next Friday as well too for another. It'll be a little bit more exciting on Gamedaze next week. I'll let you in on that one. So we'll leave it at that. Have a happy Friday, everybody. That's it. I'll see you next week.